Giovanni, you got a question too.
Thank you very much. My question dovetails a bit with what you've been asked about narratives, but refers specifically to ecological collapse. So not just climate change, but also the biodiversity crisis. And it is, do we need a new narrative to tackle these issues? Is there some kind of epic just around the corner that we have missed? Or do we need to tackle this in a more piecemeal fashion when it comes to narratives, the narratives we deploy to tackle the ecological crisis?
We definitely need better narratives because humans are not kind of programmed to think about this particular type of danger. I mean, evolutionarily, going back to the Stone Age, we had to worry a lot more about the tribe next door than to worry about our impact on the environment. No Stone Age tribe faced an apocalypse because the campfires changed the climate and whatever. So this is why even today, we are far more attracted when we read the news to a story about tribal conflict or the threat from a neighboring tribe than we are to another scientific study about the potential impact of climate change. So I think scientists need a lot of help from artists in this realm. There are definitely not enough TV series, not enough blockbuster movies about the ecological crisis. We need a lot more of that. In terms of what kind of story to tell, ultimately, I think it's about getting down from our minds to our bodies. Because in our minds, cultures create very different cultural stories for each human group, which set us apart. But our bodies are still basically the same everywhere. So if our identity was less connected to the inventions of our minds and more embedded in our bodies, I think it will be an important step, not just for tackling the climate crisis, but for tackling all the major problems that we face.
And do you think extending that sense of embodiment perhaps to other organisms as well, so stretching the boundaries of, let's say, just our species and thinking about how we share this planet and a long evolutionary history with other beings could help foster some kind of empathy or compassion, or do you think that's a dead end?
No, absolutely. I think one of the advantages of embodiment is that you realize that basically we are animals and we depend on the same ecological conditions as the other animals, and we have so much in common, certainly with other apes and other mammals, but also with other organisms. Whereas, when we are stuck just in the stories of the mind, it's very easy to believe that we are completely different, not just from the people on the other side of the hill, but definitely from all these animals. To take religious mythology, for example. So in many religions, not all of them, but certainly in the monotheistic religions, as far as I know, only humans have souls. Other animals don't have them. If the main story you tell yourself about your life is about your soul and what will happen to my soul after I die and so forth and so on, so this creates a complete disconnect with the chimpanzees and the cows and the pigs and everybody else because they don't have a soul. So they are not really part of the same story as me. They are maybe part of the decoration, but they are definitely not the main actors.